Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about, is Amazon stock and is Nvidia stock overvalued? Are these stocks overvalued, guys? These two stocks, a lot of you out here actually directly own. You actually own shares in them, or you might indirectly own through a mutual fund, through a 401k or something like that, guys, especially in Amazon's case, because Amazon has become such a Goliath company now that almost every mutual fund out there pretty much has some shares in Amazon. So these two companies directly or indirectly affect the majority of people watching this video today, guys. And they're very interesting stocks. They're huge growth companies. They're stocks that are talked about a lot on TV and whatnot. They're making moves. I mean, the Amazon deal with, Amazon trying to buy Whole Foods, like that was, got national press attention. And not often, one of those type of deals, an acquisition in the stock market is not usually an acquisition gets that type of public attention, like everybody knows about it, guys. So this is huge stuff. We're gonna go ahead and look at these and see if they're way overvalued or if they're not really that overvalued, guys. So let's go ahead and get into this. Hope you enjoy. Hit the thumbs up button if you do, and let's see this. So Amazon, this stock in the last 3 years is up 175%. And you can see the part of 2014 there I actually have, that actually weighed down the numbers a bit because for the second half of 2014 it went down over 8%. But if you look, 2015, the stock went up over 119%. Then 2016, it had an okay year, went up over 10%. And you look at the first 6 months of this year, it's gone up over 27%, guys. So 3-year change of 175%. That's amazing. Nvidia, this one's even better. This one makes Amazon look like a joke. So Nvidia in the last 3 years, up 629%, guys. 629%. Look at 2015, up 63%. 2016, last year, was a huge year for it, up 223%. And then through the first 6 months of this year, it's already up over 30%, guys. So we're talking about two stocks that have gone up massively. Amazon's gone up massively. 175% in 3 years is amazing. Like, that's ridiculous. But Nvidia up over 600%, guys. That's just mind-blowing to me, mind-blowing. So a few different things we're going to look at. We're going to look at, which way is their revenue trending, profits trending. We're going to look at the most recent numbers. We're going to look at some PE ratios and those kinds of things to kind of judge if these companies are overvalued or not. And if they are, why are they overvalued? Why are they getting this type of valuation? So let's look at Amazon first and judge Amazon first here. So we see Amazon 2014, they did about almost $89 billion in revenue. 2015, they did about $107 billion, and then all the way up to almost $36 billion this past year. That's phenomenal growth, guys. Phenomenal growth. And then we go ahead and we look at the net income here, the net income rate. 2014, they did negative. They had negative net income, so they lost $241 million. 2015, they did $596 million profit, so that's nice when you can swing from a pretty big loss to a pretty nice gain. And then all the way up to $2.3 billion in net income this past year. So we're talking about Amazon, over the past few years, went from a company that was losing money to also being pretty nicely profitable to now profits are exploding. I mean, that's almost a 5-fold the profits went up there, guys. That's a huge increase. So profits are dramatically increasing at Amazon at this point in time, and revenues are increasing, rapidly as well. I mean, to get an extra 30-something billion dollars in revenue, or not quite 30, an extra $29 billion in revenue 1 year versus the next, like, you know how much in sales you have to increase to get that, guys? $29 billion more. That is absolutely mind-blowing numbers. Let's look at most recent here. So most recently, their total net sales, for the 3 months ending March 31st, so latest quarter, back in 2016, they did $29 billion. This past quarter, they did almost $36 billion, guys. $35.7 billion in revenue. So we're talking about dramatic growth engine this company is. Then we look at net income. We had about $513 million in net income last year in this same quarter. This year in this same quarter, they did about $724. That's really good growth. Basic earnings per share of $1.09. Last year in this quarter, they did $1.52 in this most current quarter. So we see that, not only has it grown in the last 3 years, but right now it's still in phenomenal growth mode, guys. The profits are up, what was that, almost 50%, 40+%. And then, revenues are increasing. increasing at a 20-25% pace. So they're growing phenomenally. We see this as a high growth company. Now let's look at the PE here. So they got a trailing PE of 179. They have a forward PE, so that's next year's earnings, expected around an 83 on a forward PE. So I look at Amazon and I say, absolutely, this stock is overvalued on any type of short-term basis, even a medium-term basis. This company is absolutely overvalued, and it is without question. There's no way you can make a valid argument that Amazon is not overvalued currently. Because look at this. Okay, let's say they hit that number, they do an 83, they get down to an 83p next year. That's 2018 they get that down to. Then 2019, what do they get it down to? Maybe a 60. Then 2020, maybe they get it down to like a 45. Then 2021, maybe they get it down to like a 35. Then 2022, maybe they get it down to a 25. And then maybe, then at that point, it's like a realistic number. Like a 25 PE I can pay for most companies if it's on a forward basis. But we're talking about, you need to probably get to 2021, 2022 to even get to that normal valuation, right? That's a long ways away, guys. That's a long ways away. And who knows if the competitive landscape can shift in that amount of time? Like we're talking about, we're talking 4 or 5 years into the future. Maybe we're finally fairly valued, and who knows what's going to happen on, in that next 4 or 5 years. So when I look at Amazon, there's no way I could invest in Amazon, although I believe in Amazon more than, I've been talking about Amazon and Tesla taking over the world as far as the auto industry and retail for like long before I even had this YouTube channel, right? But I'm not going to invest my money in a company that's overvalued just because I believe in it so much. It's absolutely overvalued, guys, without even, without question. Amazon's overvalued. Let's look at this Nvidia here. Nvidia. So this company, 3 years ago, they did $4.6 billion in revenue. A couple years ago, they did $5 billion in revenue. In this most recent year, they did $6.9 billion in revenue. So phenomenal growth there on the top line. Let's look at the bottom line, though. Bottom line, even more impressive. So they did 631 a few years ago. Then they went to 614, so which actually went down. So that was a little worrisome. But then they went from $614 million in net profit or net income to $1.6 billion this past year, a dramatic increase. And now we can kind of understand why the stock has gone up so ridiculously massively over the last few years, guys. When you've got that type of growth, holy smokers. Now let's look at this, guys. This is the most recent quarter. Revenue of $1.94 billion, up 48% from a year ago. Absolutely phenomenal. GAAP EPS of 79 cents, up 126%. Are you flipping my flapjacks? What? Up 126%, guys. 126%. Holy smokes, that is ridiculous growth year over year. And that's on a GAAP basis too. That's not even on a non-GAAP basis. That's on a GAAP basis. 126% profits are up. My goodness gracious. Okay, so let's look at the PEs here. So the trailing PE on this company is about a 46. The forward PE, however, is around a 39, So I look at that and I say, well, the profits are obviously expecting to slow substantially coming here in the second half of the year. So that's a little worrisome. So when I look at this company and I look at profits starting to slow in that 126%, that's going to start slowing, or at least is expected to slow massively for the second half of the year and going forward, right? I look at this company and I say, okay, this company is slightly overvalued, but it's not even close to what an Amazon is overvalued, and then we won't even talk about Tesla or Netflix. Those ones might be the worst of them all, right? But I look at Nvidia and I see, this company is slightly overvalued because profits are expected to slow substantially, and then you're still trading at a forward PE of a 39. So when your profits are slow, or at least expected to slow that much, and you're trading at a forward PE of a 39, I can't get involved with a company like that. Now, why are these two stocks, overvalued? And in Amazon's case, way overvalued. Like, why do stocks like this get overvalued? Like, why does everybody just want to stick money in them? There's two reasons why these stocks are overvalued and why many stocks are overvalued in the market currently. we've been in a bull market, and especially in the NASDAQ, which both those companies participate in the NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ's up 25% in the past year. 25% the NASDAQ's up in the past year, guys. That is like mind-blowing numbers. I mean, the markets on average go up about 8% a year. This almost did a threefold, right? Almost a 26% rise in the past year. That is mind-blowing type bull market-ish type stuff there, guys. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, and just as important, if not more important, is they're the future. They're the future. When there's companies that are seen as being possibly the number one, company in a big industry or dominating a big industry, that's when you have everybody wanting to throw money at it left and right. In Amazon's case, they're probably going to dominate retail you can make an argument that they're already dominating retail, right? Retail's huge. Like, this is a huge market. So Amazon's going to be the number one there. The number one play. That's huge. And then also, Amazon could potentially be the number one play in web services, which is businesses, using their type of platforms to, expand the businesses and to keep track of all the numbers and whatnot. That's a huge opportunity. So Amazon's potentially in the forefront of two huge industries, guys. Two huge industries. The main one being the retail side. That's a big opportunity for Amazon, right? Huge. So they're seen as a future there. And then you look at Nvidia's case. Nvidia is seen as possibly the future company, the dominant player in artificial intelligence. And why is this such a big thing? Well, because artificial intelligence is going to eat software. It's going to make software irrelevant. Artificial intelligence type chips are gonna change the world. I mean, there's going to be no more. The way semiconductors work and the way semiconductors, chips, and software works currently is totally different than artificial intelligence works. And I won't even try to get into that in this video here, because I'm probably a bad explainer of technology type stuff. Like I need to stick to the stocks, right? So if you want to see the difference between artificial intelligence and software, then go out and research that on your own. But they're two way different things. And in Nvidia's case, they're seen at the forefront of all of artificial intelligence. They're seen as possibly the player that's going to dominate artificial intelligence more than any company out there. And we're talking about a world 20, 30 years from now when almost everything's going to be, have some type of artificial intelligence running it, guys. That's crazy to think about. And Nvidia's potentially in a great position to be the number one player there. So that's why these stocks are overvalued. Bull market, and they're seen as a future in a big, huge potential industries here, or industries that are already huge. So that's why these type of stocks get overvalued, guys. So hope you enjoyed looking at these today. Let me know if you're investing in either one of these. I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section. If you have any plans to buy them or anything like that, guys, I would love to hear from you in that comment section. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance on the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm an actual business owner. I give away so many business tips. We talk stock market investing more than anything. Check out my book. It's linked in that description, My Stock Market Strategy. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.